Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be going over a quick, easy, simple assembly program. Similar to the last one, we're going to be displaying stuff into the command line, but I'm going to be adding a few things. The main thing that I'll be adding is the addition function. So we're going to be able to add two numbers, two variables actually. But I'm also going to be showing you how to store that variable and use it later. All right, so just like last time, we need to start with some variables. This time we're going to start with x, and we're going to make that a double word, which is larger than just db, which we use for the strings. And for this one, we're going to do 7, and then we're going to do y, also a double word, and we're going to make this one 8. And to make it easier for you guys to understand what is actually happening here, we're going to put the addition symbol and the equal symbol in the command line as well. Just print out the whole thing. So this one, message, and for this one, all we need is fight, plus sign, there we go. Then we're gonna do message 2, oops, mix it up. And same thing. All right. Then we're gonna come down here, and in this segment, this is where we're gonna have a variable that can change throughout the program. We're gonna call this Z, and it's reserve D, which is double word, just like how we have for the other one. And you put the 1 here so that everything works. All right, now that we have all of our variables set, time to do actual programming. Just like last time, we need to move these variables into EAX so we can actually perform functions on them. That way we can add x and y together. So to start, we're going to add x and y together. And to do that, first we're going to move one of the variables, this one being x. We're going to move x into EAX here. Whoops, sorry. There we go. We're going to move x into EAX. That gives us the ability to add EAX to y. So now we're adding y into EAX. Before I forget, we need to put brackets around these. And similar to if you've ever programmed in C or C++, when you're dealing with pointers and you need to let the compiler know that you're pointing to that variable, it's similar to that. All right, now that we've added those two together, that the addition here, EAX and y, when x is already stored in EAX, so you're adding these two together. Now we need to store that into this variable up here. So we're going to then move z into it. So this moves the value of EAX into this variable, so then we can then use it later. And this just helps keep everything organized, and that way we don't have to add here, there, then print stuff out. Yeah, you'll see. It'll make more sense as I finish this. So now, after we're done with that, we're going to move x back into EAX. That way we can print it out into the command line. We're going to call print underscore int. And unlike last video where I showed you how to just print hello world in the command line, we're going to be using int this time. Int standing for integer. If we don't use int and we try to print an integer into the command line, we're going to get a segmentation fault. So make sure, depending on whatever what's the word? If you're printing an integer, character, string, whatever it is, make sure you have the right there. That way it prints out nicely. All right, now that we have that, we're going to move this message up here into EAX so we can then print it out, message 1. And for messages, strings, you don't need to include those brackets. All right, and call print underscore string. It's going to print it out in the command line. And then we're going to move y into EAX now. And we're just going to repeat the process that we did for x. Oops, call print underscore int. And then we're going to move the second message. Oops, sorry. Move the second message. Here we go. into EAX, so we can print it out. Call print. Remember, make sure we're using string and int for the dedicated variables that we have set, depending on if they're integer, string, character, so and so. All right. Now that we've done that, we're going to move the variable that we stored. Now that the addition is stored in this variable, we can now call it back and move it back into EAX. EAX into Z and call print underscore int, and then print it out, and we're going to just put it on a new line. Print underscore new line. All right, now so the key takeaways of this video compared to the last one is integers. Integers, we need a larger storage. We need to store it in a bigger byte, bit, whatever. So we're going to use a double word instead of just a byte. And now we're using variables that can change depending on what we do down here. So then we can store them back in there and reuse them later on. Another one is how to store EAX. What's in EAX in a variable? You just flip it. The add function. It's a new one. And using int instead of string. Also, don't forget those brackets on your integers. All right, now we're going to control X, Y, save it, and see if this runs. And there you go. 7 plus 8 equals 15. Easy as that. Thank you guys for watching. Like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.